being joined all the way from Ibadan by our good friend Kenny Bamidele. Kenny Bamidele is a basketball journalist. Kenny, thank you so much for coming through tonight. Always good to see you. So let's get one thing clear. The Tigers have already qualified for the for the FIBA Women's World Cup by virtue of being African champions. So why do they need to go through the qualifiers?
Of course, when this actually came, I was actually very surprised too. But apparently in this particular group, Germany, who are the same group we thought they're going to be the host nation for next year's FIBA World Cup right there. And of course, if Germany have already qualified automatically as the host nation, while 2 other nations will join Germany. And I think it's actually really surprising too. But looking at Nigeria's readiness, or let me say Nigeria's, what the opponent of Nigeria would actually be like for them come next year. I'm looking at France. You know, we've played France 4 times. We won against them in the 2022 FIBA World Cup qualifiers, and that will go down as one of the biggest victories when it comes to men's basketball, because we won against them when the likes of I think Emi Okonkwo was on that team. There was also Nicole Nabosi. There was Atonye Ngifa also on that team that time. Against Germany, we played against Germany in a friendly game. That was the pre-Olympics. The pre-Olympics preparations. We lost to Germany in that friendly game. So if you look at the opponent in that group, I do not think that it should be much of a problem for us to navigate. The fact that 3 countries will qualify automatically to the next round, and again, Germany as the host nation has already qualified, so they are only playing just for formalities, and they're going to be playing against the likes of Philippines, South Korea, and France in that particular one. And this should be the we participated in 2 FIBA Women's World Cup before. Our best finish was in 2018 when we got to the quarterfinals. I remember that time it was a roller coaster ride for us until we faced United States in the quarterfinals, which we lost. I think it was 71-40 that time. This time around, qualifying is very important. The last time we qualified in 2022, we couldn't go due to administrative issues right there. So all eyes to be on the Tigers at that time. I remember when we won the AfroBasket, we thought, the team should qualify automatically, and getting to actually see this is quite surprising. So I'm just going to say that we just need to be on top of our game, ensure that we will be at the qualifiers with the right set of players, the players that will be able to make us qualify to the FIBA World Cup in Germany.
But that's the thing, Kenny. We've already qualified by virtue of being African champions. So ordinarily, I would think that the coach would probably bring in players that she hasn't seen, who wants to give a chance to probably make the final squad. But that's me. But guys, you have a question?
Yeah, I want to quickly ask Kenny. I mean, it's obvious that we're a class apart continentally.
In Africa.
Yeah, continentally. We've won 5 consecutive titles. But I want to ask you, I mean, from your own point of view, where do you think we sit amongst the very best in the world? You know, we finished 8th. That was some 7 years ago. But right now, in this current moment, where do we sit alongside the very best in the world as we go into this? I won't call them qualifiers. I see them as pre-tournament games for us, so to speak. Where do you think we rank? Where do you think we sit?
Pretty tough to actually call that, but I can say that quite a lot of countries are ahead of us when it comes to the countries that are participating in the qualifiers. You know, in Group A, we have the likes of South Sudan, Brazil, Belgium, Czech Republic, and China. I'd say that, of course, we're ahead of South Sudan. We should be, I wouldn't say we're ahead of Belgium too, because, you know, we played against Belgium one time in the friendly game, we lost to them. So honestly, it's a different kettle of fish when we play against this team internationally, because you get to see players who understand the games better. You got to see players who train consistently. You got to see players who, you know, they know how to play the game better than most of African countries right there. So I'm going to say that I'm not going to come up with a ranking now, but I'm going to say that we have a lot of work to do in order to match up with these countries. We have what it takes. We have the talent to be able to do that, but it's just ensuring that preparation-wise, in terms of the personnel, we select the right personnel for this championship. I remember when we won against France in the straight to the two World Cup qualifiers, which made us qualify for the World Cup, but we couldn't go due to administrative issues. We had the likes of Amy Okonkwo, like I mentioned. There was Adara Elon, there was Atonya Igifa, Niklena Bossi on that team. There was Victoria Macaulay, and it was a big performance from every single one of these girls. So, and one thing for sure is, just give them any team, they will give it a big fight. So we just need to prepare well, ensure that we treat this like this is the World Cup itself. And just like someone mentioned right there in the studio, we need to treat it like this is the World Cup itself. It's not weeks before the start you begin to bring players together. Maybe you begin to do 20 players in camp, they can't even play friendly games. This is not the AfroBasket Championship where if they wake the guests up tomorrow, they can win it the next day. This is not AfroBasket. This is the World Cup qualifier. So we have to take it seriously. We have a lot of work to do in order to match with some of the big wigs when it comes to women's basketball. But I'm just going to say that with the right preparation and, of course, with the selection of the right personnel, we will definitely qualify for the FIBA Women's World Cup.
Okay, Kenny, very quickly, look, we're not really convincing, during the AfroBasket. And going forward now, we know that the qualifiers are very, very important since it doesn't seem like we've got that automatic ticket. However, what are the chances of Rena Wakama possibly trying to infuse some of the local talent we have? Because I think over the last two tournaments, we've only had one local player representative in the Tigers squad, and she didn't really get involvement. So in your own opinion, what are the chances of some of the local-based basketballers, joining up with our international-based players?
Okay, just before you answer that, Kenny, let me make something particularly clear. Nigeria has already qualified for this tournament by virtue of being continental champions.
Yeah.
So going through the qualifiers is pretty much, I don't know, it's routine, basically. So we're not trying to qualify. We've qualified already. We're just hoping that they can put up a good performance. Kenny, I think it's frozen. Yeah, I think we've lost Kenny. But,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, Kenny. We can hear you.
Yeah, talking about the question that was asked, that is about Nigeria struggling. I mean, not being that convincing at reason as regards that the team couldn't even play the friendly games that they planned. They were meant to play some friendly games. They couldn't play it at the time. And the chemistry was definitely not really good. The first game was more like the friendly game for us. The first game was more like the friendly game we were meant to play. And just like I said, AfroBasket Championship is not even our problem. You wake these guys up tomorrow, they're definitely going to do well in that particular one. And knowing fully well that, we will be at the FIBA World Cup come next year, I think the qualifiers is just meant for us to just fine-tune the team and, of course, ensure that we have the best set of girls to actually, the best set of girls to actually do well for us in that particular tournament. So I'm just going to say that just like like I said earlier, get the right players on board, ensure that the coaching crew are also together with these girls. And of course, you don't want a situation whereby you are bringing a player that the coach doesn't know who the player is. You're trying to force a player on we don't want that type of situation. We want the coach to be able to make these decisions and ensure that she goes into the qualifiers with the best set of girls. Just like Germany will see this as a way to just get their own best 12 for the tournament. Nigeria should also see that as a way to get their best 12. For the local players, we do have the quality, right? But if you look at the standard of our league, I would say that we are not there. As much as we witnessed one of the best organized Nigerian women's basketball league recently, there's still a lot of work to do in terms of getting the talent from the Nigerian women's basketball league. I'm not even going to lie, we have a lot of talented basketball players, but are they ripe to actually represent the country on the international stage? That is
I think we've lost Kenny Bamidele, but Kenny, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On.